Hey everyone, welcome to the first ever Mount Vernon Q&A. And if you're wondering what that is, well, we're going to start a new series where we will be taking questions from the YouTube comments, and I'll be going around talking to our experts on site here at Mount Vernon and asking them to provide answers for these questions. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions that you want answered, please feel free to leave a question in the comments below. I read every single one, I promise, and I will be sure to answer them on camera. First question is from Tom Umland, and the question is, I've read somewhere that Washington's mill contained imported millstones so that the mill would grind finer flour than any other mill in his area, and that this enterprise and perhaps others enabled him to change from being a raw materials provider for export to a locally useful one whose products were in great demand. Are the stones here original to Mount Vernon? So to answer your question, I spoke with the manager of historic trades here at Mount Vernon, Steve Bayshore. He is an expert on all things Gristmill, and he said that Washington did indeed import his millstones and that they were French burrstones that were quarried from the Marne River Valley. Now, a lot of people apparently in the area back then in the 18th century in this vicinity in Virginia also use French burrstone, and the reason was because they specifically for wheat, that's what Washington used them for, and they were able to produce the finest wheat. So however, today the millstones that are currently in Washington's gristmill, they were taken from an early 19th century gristmill, and in 1932 the state of Virginia provided the money to reconstruct the gristmill here at Mount Vernon, and those are the millstones that you would currently see if you came to visit. Next question is from user Aiden Calderon, and while it's not really a question, it's more of a comment. He said, GW only went to school until the 6th grade. Well, I'm going to clarify that a little bit more and give a little bit more background on GW's education. So basically, until in the 6th grade, George Washington's father, John Augustine, passed away, and when he died, he didn't leave enough money to send George overseas to school in England, to the Appleby School, which is where his half-brother Lawrence went. So because of that, he didn't go to school overseas, and he stayed here in Virginia, and there are records that he still pursued studies until the age of 16. So it's not like he dropped out, but due to the circumstances, he just wasn't able to continue the traditional schooling that people of the gentry of that time would have had. So our last comment was from user Bogus Broadway, and it's about something that's very hot right now in pop culture. It's about Mr. Alexander Hamilton, and the comment is, I came to this just because I'm so into their relationship. It's so interesting. Great comment. Washington and Hamilton really did have a fascinating relationship. So Hamilton served as Washington's aide-de-camp during the Revolutionary War for 4 years, and it seems like they remained pretty good friends after that. And here's a really fun fact that not a lot of people know. Hamilton was the last person George Washington wrote a letter to before he died. He wrote this letter a few days before he passed away in 1799. We have a great interview with historical author Ron Chernow. He wrote the book on Alexander Hamilton, of which the play Hamilton is based on, and he worked together as the main historical consultant with Lin-Manuel Miranda on the play to make sure it was as historically accurate as possible. So if you want to check out that interview, I have the link below in the description. It's really good. It goes into the details of Hamilton and George Washington's relationship. I will also provide a link to the full-length interview where he kind of goes into depth about the process of working with Lin-Manuel Miranda and the play itself. So it's a great interview. I really hope you guys check it out. It's awesome. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for this first ever Q&A. We'll have another one coming up for you soon. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to leave whatever you want in the comments. I read everything, and I'll make sure to get everyone's questions. It's really great to hear your feedback. Let us know what you want to see. Is there anything about the 18th century you want to learn more about George Washington himself, or just here at Mount Vernon? Happy to answer all your questions. Also, please don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, if this is your first time ever to the channel, please subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys soon in our next Q&A in a few weeks.